Hey there, friend, and welcome to January 21st. It is my brother's birthday. So I started off the day with a text to him. He is turning 24 years old today. So he's a full 9.5 years younger than I am. Love you, Peter. So yeah, it's 21st. It was Grandma's birthday yesterday. Peter just missed her by a handful of hours. But yeah, big day in a lot of ways because got those things going on. But also, I'm driving to get a haircut. Yay, haircuts are always exciting. I can definitely feel, you guys probably see me playing with my hair in the past few videos too. I can definitely feel it getting longer, feel like I'm ready. So we got that going on. Also, I have an interview today. Kind of getting pushed through relatively quickly with one of the companies that I've been speaking to. The guy just happened to be going out on PTO all of next week, the guy that I'm supposed to be talking to. So yesterday I was like, hey, can you talk to this guy tomorrow before he's out for the entire week? So I was like, yeah, for sure. So we've got that. But yeah, so I mean, that's really kind of the focus for my day right now because that's going to be soon after I get home from my haircut. And I just immediately get nervous for this stuff, which I don't know if any of you experience this. Let me know if you do. But it's like in my head, I'm not actually nervous about it. Like, a little bit for sure. But it's like not that nervous, right? But it's like my body, it's like a whole different story. My body starts like freaking out. And so I sit there and I'm like telling my body with my mind, I'm like, dude, it's gonna be fine. Like, it's just an interview. And this happens for a lot of things, but this is a good example. And it can be really frustrating because I'm genuinely like, dude, like, stop freaking out. There's nothing to be worried about. Like, it's an interview. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And like, obviously, there's like a little more pressure than that, but in the grand scheme of things, not really. So anyways, it's frustrating, but I've kind of gotten used to this part of myself. And one of the things that I do that helps a lot is, and you probably saw me doing this, even like a micro extent of it in the video the other day, like right before I hopped on the phone interview, but that is doing breath work, essentially manipulating the breath. So that is something that I did last night. I did like kind of like an extended session that really, really helps me feel more calm and grounded afterwards, but then like also those effects trickle into today. Like, I feel more calm and grounded this morning than I did last night. Now I'll still be nervous, like, 15 minutes before the interview and like when I get on the call and stuff, which that stuff goes away pretty quickly for me because like once I get in it, it's like, oh, okay, this isn't actually that bad. But yeah, so the breathwork pattern is, for anybody familiar with breathwork, it's kind of the standard pattern, and it's not a calming pattern. It's actually to stimulate the nervous system, but it kind of, to me, it feels like it like reorganizes the nervous system, and even though you're heightened in that moment, then you come down from it really, really nicely. So essentially that's lying on your back. You take all the breathing is done through your mouth. You take a breath in through your mouth into your stomach. You take another quick breath in through your mouth into your chest, and then you exhale. So it's, and you go like that for like a while. So essentially I did this for like 15 minutes last night, And like I said, felt calmer afterwards, still feeling good this morning. A little nerves here and there, but not quite as anxious as I was last night. So wanted to pop in and share that here. I am going to get to my haircut in just a few minutes here, so I'm gonna say goodbye for now, and I'll check in with you later. All right, well, I'm back at home. It's actually been a little while, been a few hours since I checked in here, but I'm at my computer. The interview is done. It went well. Excited about potential opportunities there. It's kind of a good note to go into the weekend with, hoping that I kind of like know what next steps are next week. Well, I know what's coming next, but have some more clarity on like when and everything like that. So that feels good. A good way to go into the weekend, like I said. I have a couple things to do the rest of the day, but probably chill a little bit too. And I'm just looking at the calendar here. I got like a little bit of time before I go drive Uber Eats tonight. I did actually have something I wanted to share, which was like after I got home from my haircut and before I jumped onto the interview, I was trying to kind of figure out like what makes me anxious, or like what I'm uncomfortable, or like what's worst case scenario essentially if I get in an interview. Is it that I don't get a job? Is it that I fail? Like what's the worst case scenario? And what I realized is that for me, which is not a surprise for a big thinker and deep feeler, is feeling stupid. Feeling like I get stuck and I'm like, blah, 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 I don't know. Or just feeling dumb. Like if they have a certain expectation of, if you're like applying for this role and you're serious about this job, then clearly you know XYZ. And so to not be able to show that just feels like deeply shitty to me. And so Jesse and I had talked a little bit too about my experience in college and then in the working world. And one of the things that I realized was that I really struggled in college for the first time in my life with school, or really anything that I just like really wasn't good at. Like I was really struggling with, and I was trying. Like school always came easily to me. I was like that annoying kid where I just showed up to class, I did the homework, and I was able to do well on the tests and get straight A's. I didn't have to do any amount of studying or anything like that. Where college was not that experience. The engineering program at the University of Illinois, where I went, is one of the best in the nation, which also means it's very competitive. And I just got my ass absolutely handed to me. It was by far the hardest thing that I've ever had to do from a working standpoint. And so because of that, what I'm realizing is that I have some deep-seated confidence issues that go back to that time. What's interesting is that I hadn't really thought about this before because I'm confident in many other areas of my life, but this remains kind of this like deeper story of like, I suck at this stuff. I'm not good at it no matter how hard I try. And so that was really interesting to notice. It's not like brand new or anything like that to me, but it just wasn't something that I had thought about. And so kind of sussing that out of going through this process currently was kind of interesting. It was interesting, and just kind of sitting with that and kind of being open to that. I've always been hard on myself. I've always had high expectations for myself. And so while I've softened in many ways, and I do still have high standards for myself, but I give myself grace when I have human moments and I don't meet those, I'm trying to be very mindful of, like, maybe this is a way that I'm just like too hardened in that kind of that way because I was hurt. I had this like pain in that experience in college and feeling like I just wasn't good enough, or no matter how hard I tried, I still sucked at something. So anyways, I just wanted to share that because I thought that was kind of an interesting nugget that came up as I've been going through this process and was trying to be mindful of, I was just getting curious about, like, why am I getting so anxious? Like, why am I getting so worked up about this stuff when, as I was sharing with you, like, in my mind, I'm like, it's just a conversation. It's not that, it's not life or death. Like, it's okay. And my body is like having this very different experience. So I think this may be why. So anyways, I guess I'm curious for you, as always, if you've had similar experiences, obviously if you struggle with anxiety, like for interviews or going into new events or places where you don't feel 100% comfortable or you feel like you're on the spot. I know all of those things for me can be triggers. So yeah, guess I'm curious what your experience has been. And then, yeah, as always, if you have questions or comments, I would love to hear. Hi, buddy. Yeah. What is that, huh? Yeah. Yeah, you like the snow? Yeah.
Cora's so happy. She misses it so much. She freaking loves snow. The only reason we would ever move to a place that got snow frequently is because she loves it so much. Finn's seeming to have a good time with it too, right, Finn?
Yeah.